Ride the Shoopuf? Hell yeah, I'm ready, let me on.
All aboard!
Oh, I'm so excited. Who remembers the excitement of being a kid and, I don't know, maybe not a Shoopuf, but going on like a ferry? There's a small like island to the south of Great Britain, not far away, called the Isle of Wight. And I remember when I was young going to the Isle of Wight and being so excited about it. Man, getting on that ferry, cool stuff. I haven't been to like the ocean for so long. Alright, so now we cross the Moonflow.
Hey.
Huh?
Take a look.
What? Whoa! A sunken city.
A Machina city, 1,000 years old. They built the city on top of bridges across a river.
But the weight of the city caused the bridges to collapse, and it all sank to the bottom.
Right, it's a good lesson.
A lesson?
Yeah. Why build a city over a river, yeah?
Well, it would be convenient with all that water there.
Nope, that's not why. They just wanted to prove they could defy the laws of nature.
I'd just like to point out here, I hate pausing in the middle of cutscenes, but I'd like to point out, Zanarkand, if you guys remember, was like a very water-themed city, alright? It's got like giant buildings, if you remember, that had waterfalls built into them, and it had like those giant pillars of water out in the background. Zanarkand was like the master of manipulating water. Now, they didn't necessarily do it through Machina, because there were many summoners there, but yeah.
I'm not so sure about that.
Yevon has taught us. When humans have power, they seek to use it. If you don't stop them, they go too far, yeah?
Yeah, but don't you use Machina too? Like the stadium and stuff, right?
Yevon, it decides which Machina we may use and which we may not.
So what kind of Machina may we not use, then?
Remember Operation Mihen? That kind.
Or war will rage again.
War?
More than 1,000 years ago, mankind waged war using Machina to kill.
They kept building more and more powerful Machina.
They made weapons so powerful, it was thought they could destroy the entire world.
The people feared that Spira would be destroyed.
But the war did not stop.
What happened then?
Sin came, and it destroyed the cities and their Machina.
The war ended, and our reward was sin.
So, sin's our punishment for letting things get out of hand, eh?
Man, that's rough.
Yeah, it is.
But it's not like the Machina are bad.
Only as bad as their users.
It's because of people like the Al-Bhed screwing everything up.
What could that be?
Uh-oh.
Sit down.
Sorry! Ah!
Oh, speaking of the Al-Bhed. And now we get in the war. So hopefully, guys, the plot makes a lot more sense to you now, right? They got to a point of, you know, I guess we're talking nukes here, basically, right? And it's kind of funny, obviously, this is a Japanese game. And a lot of people say that, you know, the themes of this story and the overarching plot is only natural given, you know, it's from Japan that was nuked at twice. You know, it shouldn't be too much of a shock. Anyway, so here you go. This is Yuna. And, she's not controllable in this battle. As you can see, we only have Tidus and Waka available. But what's funny is when the battle completes, she'll actually be on the victory screen as if she had, you know, competed in it. Really kind of funny. Anyway, so this is why we equipped our lightning weapons. We are now underwater and we get to use these things. I'm going to open up with a haste on Tidus because he's going to become a bit of a cheer bot for a second for us. And yeah, we're going to start, you know, doing as much as we possibly can. Now, the enemy that we're fighting here, you might recognize, looks like something. It is no coincidence that this thing looks like the Obliterator. It's not like reusing assets. It's not any of that. It is the Obliterator. By the way, here's Wakka's other ability. I still didn't show it to you guys. It's Black Magic. Wakka is very close to Lulu's path. There's a point on the sphere grid where you can unlock a lock and give Lulu this ability, but I never bother. It's called Drain. He doesn't have great magic power, but Wakka does get a tiny bit of Black Magic. This absorbs health from an enemy and gives it to him. He's kind of a weird character to throw it on. But yeah, so he gets that. We may as well... No, we'll use it later because it's just really not useful right now. Anyway, his overdrive is charged. This was something I noticed. We'll try out an attack reels. I don't think I've shown this to you guys either. So we won this in a Blitzball tournament that I showed in a Blitzball exclusive episode a while ago. Let's do it. So I got quite good at this when I was playing a lot of the end game stuff. So, oh my god, I've already messed it up. So basically, you want to hit 3 of a kind, okay? God, I just did that. If you do that, it will double the amount of hits you get. So if I get 3 1-hits in a row, then I get 6 hits. If I get 3 2-hits in a row, I get 12 hits. And we're running out of time. I can't believe that. So I only got 2 hits. That's like the worst thing you can do. That's like the worst result. Oh my god. Alright, well, that will happen many times over the series. Don't worry about it. Alright, so that's that. Now we're going to cast Haste on Wakka too. I think at this point in the story, maybe you can have Slow as well, so you can slow down the enemy. I'm not entirely sure. For the record, this is probably one of the hardest boss fights in the entire game if you're doing no sphere grid. I think it's really meant to be, so you need both the lightning weapons, you need a bunch of stuff. Just imagine if you had none of these extra stats. We're going to use Cheer here. And he's got a couple of abilities. When he takes a certain threshold of damage, he does something. I'll show you guys your options. So now both people have been hasted. I've used Cheer once at least. We're just going to start hammering into him. And we should mop up very easily here. I mean, I'm really not worried. But yeah, this thing looks like the Obliterator. It actually is. You'll notice on the inside of it, there are bandages. This isn't a reused asset. This is a repaired Obliterator. Really subtle touch and maybe suggests something. The Albert that are capturing Yuna right now are the same ones that were capturing her back in Luca. But back in Luca, they were only doing it for the tournament. Right? So this says readying depth charges. Now... this thing will do tons of damage unless you do tons of damage and like bring it back down. It'll look like the Chocobo Eater while he's on his ass, for example. But your other option is to provoke it down, and since I'll use any opportunity to try and provoke it down, we'll do that. Pretty sure this is an option. It's not the best option though, because he'll do something in retaliation. So there you go. You provoke it and it comes back down. That's one of your rare opportunities to use provoke. And obviously, Tidus can't shout at anyone while doing it. Did I tell you guys, by the way? You know how Kimahri's talking now? Oh yeah, okay, so it increases his damage on Aqua Shooter. That's not good. So really, you just want to do damage. Don't do that. I only did that for demonstration. So, you know how Kimahri started talking to us? Well, the only way to make him say stuff in battles, all of his battle dialogue is like, you know, it's not very, very interesting. So I think this might kill Tidus if the damage has gone up. See the bandages there? The only way to make Kimahri talk in battle is to make him use provoke. And then he has like a couple of lines. I think he says something like, "Get over here." I don't think he says that. He says a couple of weird things. So anyway, Tidus gets another 2 turns. We'll cheer twice. I think I've cheered more than enough now. Actually, so I only do it once. What is that? 3 cheers in total? Really, you might want to save attack reels and use that for the overkill on this fight. I'm not too concerned, personally. Something else as well, completely unrelated to the fight. When I was selling my stuff earlier, I sold a ball that had distill... There you go, he's dead with this attack. So there you go, easy fight. I sold a ball that had distill speed on it, called like the P Distiller. That's actually something exclusive to the international versions and the HD remakes. But yeah, so there you go, easy fight if you know what you're doing. And down he goes. The lightning strike weapons really help there, by the way. Really help. But here, see, so it was only Tidus and Wakka that were doing anything. Look, Yuna's on the scoreboard. What is that? It kind of shows mechanically the way the game works, or designed that encounter at least. She didn't get any AP because she didn't do anything. Oh my god, did we get a rare reward there? Mega Phoenix? I don't think that's a normal reward. Hold on, let me have a look. I know, once again, I did not get a rare reward. That's just the normal thing. So if you overkill him, you get 2. If you overkill and rare rewards, you get 4, which is really good, actually. If you were to get 4. So there you go. I think we got 2 in our inventory now.
Are you hurt?
No. no, I'm fine.
Those Albed.
Is everybody okay?
I'm sorry. We're all okay now.
Yuna.
Shoopuf full speed ahead.
Damn the Albed. What do they want from us? Could it have something to do with Luca? What are they after Yuna for? Wait. They're mad they lost the tournament. Oh, wait! They're mad about Operation Mihen.
I wonder. Didn't Kamari's clansmen say something? About summoners disappearing?
So the Albed are behind that. Those sand-blasted grease monkeys.
Yuna's now bed. Come on. I love how Tyler's looks there.
Hey, Waka. It's no use complaining about the Albed now, right? We'll protect Yuna from anyone, anywhere. It's that easy. That's all I need to know.
Well, I guess so.
You're right.
Aw, see, we did her a solid. Do you know what's awesome about a standing desk, by the way? In like long cutscenes, I can literally just go lay on my bed, miles away from the mic and everything, just holding the controller. Because I don't need to talk, right? It's pretty awesome. And then just instantly be back. Okay, so we are now on the north side of the Moonflow. Pretty quaint little area here. Make sure you remember to pick up an Albed primer that is in the area. And welcome to the new continent, I guess. We're going to quickly save. I'm not gonna. I am gonna say I remember struggling on that boss as well. Jeez, in my original playthrough, watching that cutscene with the sunken city like a million times makes me wonder how much I'd fled during that playthrough of the game, or at least how little I understood of mechanics and equipping like lightning strike weapons. Anyway, this woman says, "So that's Lady." Oh wait, she's a Guado. So that's Lady Yuna. No wonder. What? I can see why the Albed would go after someone like Lady Yuna. Why? She's not going to elaborate. Sure. Hey, Kamari!
Kimari fail as guardian on Shoopuf. Kimari never fail again.
Hey, don't beat yourself up, dude. We know you can't swim.
Kimari fail as god.
It was good to see Waka get out there and do something, though, I guess.
Might be more Albed. Keep watch, yeah?
Lulu?
Looks like we're stuck here for a while.
Oh, why are we stuck? Oh, because of all the people harassing Yuna. I hope to celebrate Lady Yuna's calm while I'm still alive. How about seeing Lord Brasker in the Guadosalam? I heard the Albed attacked you. Are you okay? With a summoner like you at our side, we have no need to... I don't know why I'm making them all women. Lord Brasker must be bursting with the pride of the far plane. Something. I heard the Albed attacked you, blah, blah, blah. What was that, far plane? We've heard about the far plane before, right? Didn't Lulu tell us about something to do with a far plane? Anyway, so we'll leave that screen. There's nothing there for us. But back over here near where the Shoopuf docks... Oh god, I didn't mean to do that. But back, take two, but back over here where the Shoopuf docks, up here you will find an Albed primer, pretty easy to spot this one. So, let's pick it up, there you go, volume 12, Secrets of the Albed language are revealed, M is equal to L. Nice, this warrior monk says, seeing you destroyed the Albed's machina, that's some dedication, you'll receive a blessing from Yevon. It'll be necessary to strengthen security so the Albed won't get away anymore. Yeah, I guess they just fled, right? Shoopuf sleeping, wait until Shoopuf wake up. Oh, so we can't return. That's sad.
Oh, Waka, at your service.
I didn't see you on the Shoopuf. I guess the idea is our Shoopuf docked and then we just, I don't know, slept or something. I don't know. What you got, Waka? Only items for us now, so any of those weapons you wanted before are no longer available. This lady, I believe, is also a merchant. I thought I was lucky not to run into any wily merchants on this side of the shore, but I ended up buying something from that man over there. It's good to see the business is doing well, is it? I don't know. Do we like a Waka now? Sin took my daughter, but I just saw her again for the first time in 5 years. That Guadosalam place was a What? Your daughter's dead, but you just saw her? Okay. Oren here?
Guard Yuna.
Really very short, very to the point. We don't really care. Let's move on. There's a bunch of Guado and people here. I sensed that Lady Yuna was here. I can feel the warmth of the people. The descendant of a high summoner and loved by everyone. Yuna embodies perfection. Wow, kind of creepy, dude. Kind of creepy. Guadosalam is up ahead, but the path is infested with thieves. I got lost in thought there for a second, wondering whether anyone would actually be flattered by saying you embody perfection, or they'd just find it cheesy. Okay, the path is infested with fiends. Make all necessary preparations before departing. The path is not very long at all. It feels like one of those areas that was kind of cut a little bit short. Should I stay a crusader or follow a different path? I wanted to discuss this with someone on the far plane, but maybe I shouldn't. Huh? Okay, it's my future, so I need to make my own decisions. You'll notice, by the way, it's hard on this sign. The previous sign on the other side was easier. This actually is in the shape of a Shoopuf. These signs are in the shape of the Shoopuf. Really nice little touch. And even the tail of the Shoopuf looks like it's meant to be some kind of map. Again, I think it's easier on the previous one. But yeah, there's two signs here. The lower one in green, I remember it says far plane. I think the one above might just say Shoopuf or something. Those small notes are too small to read. Ether in that chest. Let's head out onto the north side of the road. And really, probably coming up to the end of the episode, unless I do a kind of a wily cut. I love that word, wily. So we go, this is the north bank. And, oh look, someone's on the floor.
You're not dead? Huh?
Thought I was done for back there.
Ah! Rikku! You're Rikku! Hey! You're okay! How you been?
Terrible.
Yeah, you don't look so good. What happened?
You beat me up, remember?
Huh? Oh, that Machina? That was you?
Mm-hmm. Oh, that really hurt, you know. You big meanie.
Wait, but you attacked us.
Nuh-uh. It's not exactly what you think.
Yo! Friend of yours.
And you could say that.
Pleased to meet ya. I'm Rikku.
Yuna? Lulu? I told you about her, remember? She was the one who helped me before I was washed up on Besaid. She's in our bed.
Wow, so you like all your life. What luck meeting here, huh? Praise be to Yevon. So, Rikku, you look a little beat up. You okay?
Waka.
Huh? What?
There's something we need to discuss.
Oh, go ahead.
Girls only. Boys, please wait over there.
Right. Sorry, Waka.
Huh? What? Ah.
Alright, look, this isn't going to make any sense, and it's going to look really crappy, right? But what's happening here does make sense, I promise you. I promise you. Because this is going to seem really out of the blue. But it's not.
Sir Orin, I would like Rikku to be my guardian.
What?
Show me your face.
Huh?
Look at me.
Oh, okay.
Open your eyes. As I thought.
No good?
Are you certain?
100%. So, anyway, can I?
If Yuna wishes it.
Yes, I do.
Riku's a good girl. She helped me a bunch.
Mm-hmm.
Well, I'm for it. The more the merrier.
Righto. Then I'll just have to be the merriest.
It was strange. Even though Waka had always hated the Al Bhed,
Rikku, at your service.
he never realized Rikku was one of them.
I mean, come on. She's now better. I mean, he missed one letter. Well, how dumb is Waka to not get a hold of that? But there you go. Check it out. 7 people in our party now. We get a trophy called All Together, as the UI might suggest. You know, we've pretty much hit a full party here right now. So here's Rikku. She is, as some of you have probably managed to guess, on the sphere grid, the person behind the level 1 lock that people were recommending Kimahri goes through. She starts with Syl, she gets used, and she has her own party up here. She is closest to Yuna on the sphere grid. There's very good reason for that, like story-wise. But yeah, so she's now bed with us. And she just tried to capture Yuna, and now she's a guardian. And Yuna wants... I mean, it's crazy. But we will get to that, don't worry. So yeah, Rikku's now with us. And I guess we can just move on. I mean, as abrupt as that seems. And then we're going to have a very short little road here with very few fiend encounters. And a tiny opportunity to get to experience what Rikku's capable of in battles.
I wonder what's inside.
So treasure chests in battles. Use the special ability Steal to open treasure chests on the battlefield, but be careful. The battle will end as soon as your foes are defeated and any unopened treasure will be lost. Also, attacking a treasure chest will destroy it and all of its contents. So this is, I'd like to be able to say to you guys that they kind of expand on the battle mechanics a lot more now, and you see loads of treasure chests and, you know, it gets a bit more complicated. Honestly, you don't. You see treasure chests in this tiny stretch of the Moonflow north.
You should know, I'm scary when I get mad. I'm gonna use that item I just got on you. You'll be sorry.
And like two other places in the whole game. So yeah, it's kind of underused in my opinion, but it's reasonably cool. So mixing. Rikku's overdrive mix allows her to combine 2 items in stock and create various special effects. The results are unknown until the items are actually mixed. Try mixing the 2 bomb cores you just found to see what happens. So go over to mix, and you can mix anything, okay? Anything. You can mix any of the regular items in the game. You can mix those items that you get, like bomb cores, that you can only use with the use command. Do you remember back at the start of the game where we had grenades? And Rikku could throw grenades with use, but not with the item, right? It's kind of a weird distinction. But those you can mix. You can even mix, say, a smoke bomb with a potion and see what happens. You can do anything. The guide, the piggyback guide I actually have, doesn't even go to an exhaustive list of all of the mix overdrives. It sends you to some crappy like website that I think isn't even online anymore because it's such an old guide, instead of giving you all of them. There's tons of combinations. They're actually really fascinating the way that it's all worked out. You can, so for example, here's some basic things about mix that I'll just tell you guys now. If you mix 2 potions together as an overdrive, she gets a high potion. And she'll use a high potion. Not amazing, right? So you don't really want to waste an overdrive on mixing 2 potions. What if you mix 2 high potions? Well, then you get an X potion. What if you mix 2 X potions? You get a mega potion. What if you mix 2 mega potions? I believe then you get like a mega elixir maybe. But it keeps going. And then what if you mix like 2 mega elixirs? Or what if you mix 2 mega phoenixes? Well, you get these like insane items that you can't ever pick up anywhere. You can only get through her overdrive. For this reason, because she has access to all this crazy stuff, like cure all status ailments, add all positive buffs in the game, restore all health to max, restore all MP to max, other weird ones like every single time you do damage, you do 9,999 damage. Just crazy stuff depending on the items, right? Because of this, she's actually one of the best characters to take to the end game in the entire game. So it's actually really, really awesome. So anyway, the game is telling us to mix together 2 bomb cores. I'm not going to waste them. I'm going to throw 2 smoke bombs since we've got 6 of them. These were from Belgamine, by the way. The other 2 items were water scales we would have got. But we're not going to use those. So 2 smoke bombs. And this creates something called Hazardous Shell, which did a lot of damage. You'll notice there, it put darkness, poison.
What did you just do?
That was great!
I can combine items and use them like this. It's not that tough, really.
It did tons of damage to an armored creature. Darkness, poison, silence, sleep, just the works, right? Crazy stuff. So, you know, it's very, very interesting. It's actually through Rikku and playing a lot of Blitzball, you can completely cheese the game out, basically, after this point. Which is why that boss we just fought on a no sphere grid run is one of the hardest, because then you can just use Riku's overpowered stuff to be good. I think we get another screen after this that we can keep traveling on. And do you remember I said earlier, guys, when we were on the South Wharf that the game really explodes the items you can use? Where we've now seen 2 of those. We've seen we can use items to teach Aeon's abilities. We can use items to throw at enemies in fights. So now that we've got Rikku with us, look how low her health is, by the way. Crazy low. She's got some catching up to do. We can steal items from anyone we like again. So we've got Remedy from that Ochu. Really good practice to just keep doing that. We'll bring Titus back in. And we're also gonna we can throw those items back, we can mix those items, and there's gonna be another thing in just a second when we get to this new area. Now we got to re-equip Wakka's TKO now. There you go, you can see that friggin' Rikku died in one hit. I think they do something quite smart actually. Because her stupidly low health, this is like the health she started the game with, right? Earlier when we had her back on the boat. You would think, oh, she's crazy underpowered. The truth is, actually, I believe a lot of her stats are actually pretty solid. A lot of her stats are kind of what you'd expect, what you'd want them to be. It's just her health is really low. So they're kind of smart. They give you this illusion that she is... if that petrified, that would have been brilliant. Because he's going to attack Rikku again. Wonderful. Let's cast life again. Basically, what they do with her sphere grid is they just load it with tons of HP nodes really early on. So she doesn't need many levels to quickly catch up. Like... She doesn't need many levels, for example, to reach where Yuna's at right now. Yuna's only got 600 health. Yay, he attacked someone else. Let's use... Actually, I don't want to kill it. We can try and steal. Now, the way stealing works in this game is, first time you choose to steal, I believe you have a 100% chance to steal something, okay? We'll cast Azuna here, so she doesn't kill herself. You have a 100% chance to steal something. Second time you try, that half, so you've only got a 50% chance to steal something. Third time, you've only got 25%, and down and down and down and down, okay? So basically, it's not worthwhile constantly trying to steal, and eventually, it doesn't take very long, it will just say nothing less to steal on an enemy. Now, all enemies have two different things you can steal. A common item that you can steal, and a rare item that you can steal. There's gear in the game that gives you better odds, or like 100% odds of always getting the rare item.
Means less of them.
So you want to be careful of that. There we go, we can steal from that chest. I think the chests here serve as a mechanic, by the way, to give Rikku something to do when otherwise in the combat she'd just be dying and falling all over the place. So here we'll come in. Can't remember what these are weak to. Let's just go potluck with water. There you go, water seems to be okay. We'll kill that thing. So, there's actually a lot of items you can get from enemies in this game, okay? You can get, for killing them, you can get an item or a rare item. From stealing from them, you can get an item or a rare steal. You can get equipment from them or rare equipment. And then there's another ability later called Bribe that gives you even more stuff you can get from enemies. So every single enemy in this game actually has a ton of different items all in their loot tables and ways to acquire them and stuff, which is good because this game does actually have a lot of room for using those items in interesting ways, like teaching Aeon stuff and so on. Problem is the game's too easy to encourage you to do it all the time, and that is a bit of a shame. So, that's it. That's the Moonflow done, right? It's not very long. The North Bank. I feel like that path should be a bit longer, maybe a bit more eventful, have something else going on. Later on, I think it's actually in the sequel, there's a chest hidden right here. But the camera has all these interesting angles that are never really used in Final Fantasy X in these places. But I think in the sequel you can get stuff here. So what we're going to do is just head into this place. This is Guadosalam. That's actually like... is it Arabic? It's like some Middle Eastern language that specifically means like welcome home or something. I can't remember. It used to be on my notepad, but it is a translation of something. So there's an inn there. There's a shop there.
We have been expecting you, Lady Yuna. Welcome to Guadosalam. This way, my lady. This way.
Me?
Whoa, whoa, whoa!
Oh, I beg your pardon. I am called Trommel Guado. I am in the direct service of our leader, the great Seymour Guado. Lord Seymour has very important business with Lady Yuna.
Business with me? Whatever could it be, I wonder?
Please, come inside the manor. All will be explained. Of course, your friends are also welcome.
That's Guardians, bro. Is he just gonna hit on her again, do you think?
Star arms, why don't you? Ah, I almost forgot.
Woo! See, here's the thing, like, I feel like that path should be longer because Rikku has just slotted into the party so nicely and she's like, la-di-da-di-da, and there's some stuff with affection mechanics. Rikku can have affection mechanics here too, And there's actually a scene coming up that changes depending on which woman likes you more, Lulu or Rikku. And so playing the game normally, obviously Lulu's gonna like you more. She spent like months with you or however long it's been. She spent ages with you. So why would Rikku ever like you more? So you have to do something very specific and special to get the Rikku scene to happen, which I've actually already done on a previous test file, and I can edit in probably next episode, so that's pretty cool. But yeah, you know, it should be longer. She just feels like she's been thrown in suddenly, and she's not had that chance to have the character development. What I personally think is, I think maybe originally with this game, I make so many wild speculations like this, right? But I think, what if we were meant to meet Rikku just after Operation Mi'ihen? What if she was actually one of the Al Bhed there and we found her washed up on the beach? That's where we met her, and then that gives her a chance to have character development the whole way through that remaining stuff. But then maybe they found it didn't work too well, and so she's just sort of thrown in here, and it's like she's always been here. I don't know. Now that Rikku's joined the party, you can customize weapons and armor. I'll skip this. Oh, I don't know. So there you go. This is the last piece of the puzzle of stuff we can use with our items. This is customized. It's a totally new thing here on the options menu. And so let's have a look. Basically, you see all these empty slots we've had on gear that we never cared about before? Now they actually mean something. You can fill those empty slots with extra stuff. So let's look at Kimahri's halberd that he currently has equipped. Magic plus 20% and an empty slot. Well, you can put anything we want in here. By spending ability spheres, we can put sensor on. By spending a return sphere, which we won in that Blitzball tournament, we can add first strike. This means he will always act first, even if you get ambushed. Incredibly powerful, and I believe essential for a no sphere grid run as well. Because after a while, enemies are so fast that they would just kill you instantly, right? So you need first strike, because with first strike, that allows you to have that first turn, even when you've been ambushed, and then you can flee. See, the lower your speed, the more likely you are to get ambushed as well. So anyway, first strike's really cool for that. You can have it on a character, then just swap Tidus in and flee. And basically just then the game becomes a matter of, hey boss, can you kill each boss as you go along? Because there's no need to fight random encounters on a no sphere grid run because you don't need to level up. So there's a bunch of other things. Distill power, distill mana, distill speed, distill ability. None of these were available in previous versions of the game. Well, non-international versions. Strength plus 3, magic plus 3. There's even something here called double AP. This doubles the experience a character gets from a battle. You need mega elixirs for it. I can't remember how many. I think it's a fair few. It's like 30. So we're a long way from that, but that would be pretty cool if we could actually get that. So anyway, that's weapons though, and then there's a bunch of different stuff you can get on armor. So here's this stoneproof ring someone gave to Yuna over on the Jose Height Road. You can see here, look, she can become fireproof, immune to fire attacks with those bomb cores the game was just trying to make us use in that overdrive. So we can save those, get some more, steal some from enemies, make someone immune to fire damage. Dark Ward, sometimes protects against darkness, we know about that. SOS Null Blaze, I've talked about that before. HP plus 5% or plus 20% for elixirs. Auto Med, automatically use items to cure status. That's really strong. You know how counter doesn't actually take a turn? Well, this is the same as counter, except it cures you. So you would say an Ochu attacks us and poisons us. Because we have auto med on, we instantly just throw an antidote and we're done. You know, it doesn't take a turn or anything. It's really, really strong. Even stronger than that is Auto Phoenix. The same thing, except if someone in your party dies, you instantly throw a Phoenix down without using a turn. Actually think about that and how strong that is. One of the strongest armor abilities you can get in the entire game, and some people actually recommend it for like the mega bosses and stuff, just because they would have to kill if all 3 of your members of your party had this equipped, they'd have to wipe all 3 of you at once to actually be able to kill you. In theory, unless you ran out of Phoenix Downs and other stuff. So, you know, that's really strong. That takes Mega Phoenixes to customize that, and we've only got 2. Remember, we got 1 at Jose and 1 just now? So, yeah, anyway, that's customization. Our options are wide open. Alright, so there will have been a cut there. This is going to be one of those rare situations where, basically, I did an outro to this video, went away, edited everything, and then realized it was a little bit short. So, I'm back, and I'm continuing on the recording. This is, like, way later on in the day as well, so this is kind of weird. So yeah, alright, hi guys, I'm back. We're at Guadosalam. I've done a bit of research as well about the upcoming stuff, so we've got more we can talk about. But look, so this is the inn. Last time I saved it and ended the video, but this time we're just gonna have a little bit of a look around. Now there's 2 characters here we'll recognize. Number 1 is Shalinda.
Oh, how fare you, Sir Guardian? It seems that Maester Seymour has returned to Guadosalam. He's young, but he deserves our respect.
Fair enough. So, yeah, I mean, she even told us last we spoke to her that she was thinking of coming to Guadosalam, and here she is. Earlier in the episode, not last episode, earlier in the episode, I said, oh, Guadosalam is like hello in Arabic or something. So this is what it is, okay? It's Guado, obviously, but the second part of the word salam, in Arabic, that means peace. In Malaysian, that actually means to greet. So, Guadosalam, that's kind of the play that they're going on with there. That's what I remembered was originally on my notepad.
The maester is also the high priest of Makalania Temple. So, he administers both the temple and Guado affairs.
That's kind of important as well, actually, that he's in charge of Makalania Temple. That's the next temple we're going to visit. It's a long way away from here, let me tell you that. But he's actually in charge of both, so that's going to be quite cool. That will affect the plot as well. So here's Macon too.
Care to hear about the far plane or the fireflies?
Sure. Okay, so let me sum up just to get you guys in the mood for this, right? The far plane we heard about back in Kilika. Lulu said that when people were sent, they were sent to the far plane, and this stopped them becoming fiends, remember? And so a lot of people around here have been talking about the far plane, in particular with regard to Guadosalam. So let's see what Macon says.
The far plane's the place where fireflies born from ascending gather. They appear in the shape of people who've died and gone to the far plane. Quite the phenomenon. How I wish I understood it more fully. The Owlbed have a theory, you know. They say the fireflies are just reacting to visitors' thoughts and dreams. But only the dead appear on the far plane. No image of the living has ever been seen. It's a great mystery, but maybe the dead leave a bit of themselves in the hearts of the living. And that little bit borrows the fireflies' power for their paranormal performance. Or maybe not, who knows? And that, as they say, is that.
So this is a big bit of the lore. Now, it's totally up to your interpretation. I told you guys before, back at Kilika, that the way death functions in this world is very different to our world. The far plane, is a big part of that. So when someone is sent, they explode into fireflies, instead of like those fireflies becoming a fiend. Remember, every time we kill a fiend, fireflies appear. Well, if someone's sent, their fireflies gather at this place called the far plane, and what this means is when people go there, they can think about their loved ones, and the fireflies will actually conjure an image of them. Is that really them? Who knows? You know, you just had Macon's explanation, and different people are going to have different theories about it. It's up to your interpretation too, guys. They don't give a hard and fast answer. This isn't, you know, there's no going to be any science behind it. It's just a part of the magic of this universe.
Care to hear about the far plane or the fireflies?
And so what about the fireflies too? We've heard this term a lot. At the Moonflow we heard that there were lots of fireflies that gather there at night. What are fireflies?
They may be called fireflies, but they aren't really flies, you see. They're those lights you see whenever a fiend dies. The little fellows are responsible for a few fantastic phenomena. Visions of the past, spheres, fiends, these are all the fireflies doing. In fact, fireflies have something to do with aeons, too. The dreams of the faith reach through the spirit of the summoner. And that which is unreal becomes real for all to see. Or maybe not, who knows? And that, as they say, is that.
So that's the fireflies. You can kind of think of them as an energy source. Everything we do, like in the sphere grid where we become more powerful, each sphere we use to activate stuff, it's all because of fireflies. And so they're basically like an energy source. There were some very interesting theories connecting the universe of Final Fantasy X to the universe of a previous Final Fantasy game, Final Fantasy VII. Now, I told you guys at the start of this series, there is no relationship between any of the Final Fantasy games, but there was a really cool fan theory that suggested Final Fantasy X's Spira was just like a primitive version or another world in the same universe as, I think it's called Gaia. Is it Gaia in Final Fantasy VII? And this theory was actually expanded on in the sequel and sort of given a nod by the devs. And it's all to do with the fireflies and the far plane and stuff. Guadosalam's a really interesting part of the plot. I'll tell you guys that much because, frankly, a lot of, you know, quite profound parts of the story happen here too. There's not much fighting. It's just a lot of, you know, learning about Spira and the Guado, namely. So, we Guado help the warrior monks patrol the roads beyond. Why wouldn't we do all we can for the good of Spira? So the Guado, again, used to be very secluded. Many of the townspeople are going to tell us this. They've only been brought into the fold of Yevon recently, when Seymour Guado's father, Giskel, who was a pure Guado himself, married a human woman, and they had a child, a half Guado Seymour. With this union between these two people, the Guado were brought into Yevon and the fold, basically. Until then, they'd always been very separate, them and their duties here at Guadosalam. Okay, so this person says, thank you so much for destroying that owlbed contraption. Those heathens are despicable. I feel so relieved now. I wonder how the Guado would have felt about the owlbed before they cared about Yevon. Probably wouldn't have cared at all, right? You actually find an owlbed primer here too, so that's kind of interesting. This guy says, the Guado welcome all guests. Would you like to rest here? Yeah, thanks. Then let me show you Guado's hospitality. I think the Guado become a very misunderstood race in this story. And there's actually a lot of depth to them that I really enjoy. I just sort of feel sad that it's not expanded on the most. They're obviously kind of like the elves of this universe. Let's be frank about this. They're kind of elven. There was a tutorial machine in there where you could see some of the new fiends in the next area we'll visit. But we won't worry about that. The next area for the record is just down here. But this guy says a ferocious storm is ripping through the thunder plains. Please remain inside. So there's a place called the Thunder Plains. That's where our pilgrimage continues. But we've been waylaid a little bit because Seymour wants to speak to us in his mansion. This is his mansion with a big red door. I'm going to explore Guadosalam just for a second. There are two chests out in main Guadosalam. There's one here in plain sight with a mega potion in it. There is another one also rather well hidden down here in the most southwestern corner behind these characters. You see this? So we'll grab this. That one's got an elixir in it. These guys can have a chat. They say, I suppose you think we look odd, don't you? That's fine. We Guado are used to thinking that sort of thing. This guy says, since embracing Yevon, I need a different voice for these guys. We Guado have learned the joy that is blitzballs. So yeah, they only just became blitzballers too. But if you ask me, you humans look absolutely disgusting, she says. Still, what does that matter? Such nonsense is beneath us, no? Sure. I hope that the people of Spira will find peace through Blitzball. Do you guys think sport can bring peace to the world? Kind of interesting that the Olympics and World Cups and stuff were all cancelled, weren't they, during the World Wars in our world? Humans, the Summoner and her Guardians. Very interesting. Wait, I know. There's this guy here. I believe he's a Blitzball player. If we chase him quick enough, we can actually catch up to him because we're a better Blitzball player. He said, it's called endurance training. Stay out of my way. If we press square, we can scout him. This guy's called Nav Guado. I don't remember what position he plays in. In fact, many of the Guado glories are found here in Guadosalam. Surprise, surprise. We, Guado, protect the far plane so the dead can rest in peace. So they actually have a very noble task here. They are guarding the far plane, which is connected to Guadosalam. The town itself, the Final Fantasy wiki describes it as being in a cavern built out of the roots of the trees of the Moonflow. There's no real lore in-game that suggests that, but I think it's a pretty appropriate description. There's a house over here. There's cool stuff here in the sequel, by the way, where you have to, basically you're trying to find like murderers or something, and you're like, it's a really cool mini game. Anyway, so in here you will find an owlbed primer. Just on the floor. I was trying to pick up instead of speak to this person. It says, as sole protectors of the far plane, the Guado are the supreme race of Spira. We are fundamentally different from the populous humans and the hulking Ronso, so the three big races. But that's an old story. Now the Guado seek harmony with other races. So yeah, they used to think that they were better than us. Let us welcome human and Ronso without prejudice. I wonder if Tidus in Zanarkand knew about the Guado. But yeah, so they want peace now, and that's fine. So, Primer 13 right there. S is equal to M. We just got a new title. That's totally fine. This person over here says, I'd love to step away from the Guado glories and play for a different team once in a while. Why, if they paid me enough, I'd even play for the owlbed. That indeed can happen. I already told you guys that one of the Aurochs is playing for the Guado glories right now, actually, which is really cool. So anyway, he's going to play for them for at least 14 more games. There's this person over here who says, you find it difficult telling us Guado apart, don't you? I suppose you think we all look the same. Why? Not you. I wanted to talk to the lady again. Actually, we Guado tend to have trouble telling one human from another too. And I guess this is a fun way of the devs being like, yeah, we didn't create many Guado models. It's just that you don't appreciate the race. 3,000 gil in this place, which is nice. Another Guado glory back here. Says, say you play for the Besaid Aurochs. You're Tidus, right? I saw you at the tournament. Let's split sometime. These fiends really made a mess. Some of my teammates were badly hurt. Oh yeah, the fiend attack. You was forgetting about that. So that's Guado. He is also playing for them for 34 more games. He's probably one of their star players, I'd guess. So there you go. That's basically all you've got in this house. A little bit of cool information about the Guado. There are two more places we can go to. One's a shop, and one's like another place. By going up, by the way, that leads to the far plane. However, if we try and enter early, this Guado will stop us and say to us, present yourself to Lord Seymour before approaching the far plane. So, unfortunately, we can't head up there just yet, but all in due time, my friends. Maybe not in this video, but definitely in the next we'll be up there. One of my favourite parts of the story, Operation Mi'ihen is uploading right now, by the way. So, and I always enjoy the Operation Mi'ihen stuff, so I'd love to see how you guys take to it. But here is another big favourite of mine, this area of the story, but for a completely different reason to the Operation Mi'ihen stuff. This is just very relaxed, and it's learning about the world, and there's some serious character, you know, depth here as well, which we'll get to. Anyway, I'm jumping the gun. Here's Awaka.
Oh.
He's in the shop. So, let's chat.
I tell you, these Guado merchants are shrewd. Ripping off the pilgrims that come to visit the far plane. Listen, you watch that they don't get you, too. Me you can trust. More than a Guado, at least. What do you say?
Yeah, let's go for it, because, I mean, at least Awaka is giving us discounts. Now, you'll notice Awaka is now selling the Fatal Kate Sith, and he's selling it cheaper than the person at the Moonflow was selling it. That's because I donated all of this gold. So, if you're playing along with me and you didn't do it back then, this is another opportunity. I just like buying from that merchant. I think it sort of undervalues that merchant by adding it here. But I guess there's something cool that I never really talked about before. Awaka's wares usually reflect the stuff around him, and that's really cool. Like, he was selling poison touch stuff around where we had Ochus in the area. That's awesome. I really think that's cool. One thing, speaking of the Ochus, you can do is you can keep stealing remedies from them and then get that auto potion thing, auto med, if you want, but I'm not going to bother with that. You'll notice Rikku gear is now available, so this is a Devastator. Fancy name, but really it's just one of the most basic things you can have. Bit of strength boost. And yeah, lots of lightning ward equipment. This will be really useful in the next area we go to, but I'm not going to go to the effort of buying that stuff. But you totally can. Also, check out this thing, the double edge. This one has water strike and lightning strike. So if you bought the previous one for Tidus, and now you buy this one, well, in 2 weapons, you cover every single element Tidus will ever need, right? In just 2 weapons, 2 different double edges with the different opposing elements. That's cool, I think, and it's definitely deliberate. So yeah, that's basically stuff that's going on there with Awaka. There is another shop right next to him. She says, one of Lady Yuna's guardians. How may I help you today? You can buy weapons from her. They're all worse, and generally, I mean, why would you want to get them? The lightning stuff, but I think is more expensive than the Awaka, so there you go. Please return anytime. I guess if you were trying to play super efficient, you might want to buy those lightning ward things just to make use of the fact that you donated all that money initially, but whatever. And lastly, there's this house over here. I think I spoke to those guys in that corner, so we're fine. This is directly above where we were earlier, like where I not started the episode, down below where Macon and Shalinda are, right? It's directly above, so it's easily missed. There's also no items in here, but there are people to talk to. This person says the elders just won't give up the old tongue. I keep telling them how unseemly it is babbling like that to guests. We never actually hear their old tongue, their old language. They don't have a written language either that we ever appreciate. If you remember when we were back at the ruins, right after Tidus woke up after in Zanarkand, there were lots of bits of writing on the floor. Now that writing I never translated for you at the time. I don't think I've referenced it again in the LP. That stuff actually said Guadosalam, and it said Jiskel. So the Guado obviously had a presence at that place where we originally woke up, you know, where we swam away from the monster in the water and we had to get light the fire. The Guado were there. That's a place called Barge. It's really really kind of interesting, actually. And we won't understand why they were there. That's some of the deeper story that's easier to miss until later, and I'll get to that when I get to it. Anyway, Lord Seymour instructs the Guado youth on numerous subjects. Thanks to him, I learned about the Yevon's teachings and the history of Spira. So they never even knew history, or they're just being taught Yevon's history. Lord Seymour is a great teacher. He explains everything quite clearly. Sure. It's just what old folks do, I guess. Please, take no offense. Don't worry. So, are these guys talking in their language right now? Good traveller, prithee forgive us, our antiquated prattling. Sure. Do you have anything else to say? Once, all Guado spoke the old tongue. But when Lord Jiskel brought us to the light of Yevon, the old tongue fell out of favour with many, and suffers now a slow demise. So you guys ever looked up, right, in the real world, like, so many languages are going extinct? I don't necessarily think it's a bad thing, I'm not really an advocate for having loads of languages in the world, but whatever. Thou seemst weary, good traveller. Wouldst thou sit and rest a feet a while? Ah, belike my speech perplexes thee? 'Tis old Guado I speak, a tongue seldom heard within even Guadosalam now. Wow. The youth laugh upon us as stale old relics who live too much in the past. Sure. And you say, a dying breed we are, speakers of the old tongue. I fear this precious legacy hath but little time remaining. There's almost no reference to that in the sequel as far as I remember. But yeah, so, you know, some cool little things. Let's have a head into the mansion here and see what Seymour wanted with us. Quite a lot of talking coming up. There may be an awkward cut, not gonna lie, while we're in here, just because we're coming up to the end of this video. But, yeah, deal with it.